All right. Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the EOS Hot Sauce Live number 133. Thanks for joining us today on this new time and day for the show. So the EOS Hot Sauce Live is going to be on Fridays now at 1700 UTC moving forward. So make sure to book that in your calendar, or alternatively, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell on our channel, and you'll be notified every time we go live. So today we're switching up a bit the format of the show. We'll be aiming to do the show a bit shorter than the previous Hot Sauce Live. So I haven't rehearsed it, but I'm aiming to keep it under 15 minutes. Let's see if I succeed. So today we'll be got a lot of topics to cover, including some Bywire interviews from Dan and Yves, a new article about token creation and liquidity for DACs that was published just this morning by Dan Larimer. We've got some introduction articles to the Core Plus working group, to the API Plus working group. We've got an article covering the creation of the Recover Plus working group. We'll be talking about the EOS Foundation and their new Mandel GitHub repo, and also talking about a creative contest for the Road to Mandel article that was published a few weeks ago. We'll be covering Gamebox by Defibox, the EOS Bees 2.0 white paper. We'll mention the year in review compilation by Alfredo Candia, and also talk about our Fireside chats that are happening in the Discord server. So actually, before we get into it, I did want to mention that we've put the spicy rares on hold for a little bit. So there won't be some spicy rares given out for this show, but we are still going to be rewarding our live audience members. And so stay tuned for that. I'll be sharing the details in the middle of this show. So let's get into it. So our first piece of news was a recent Bywire interview by Dan Larimer, where he talks about the future of EOS, Eden 2.0, EVM, and of course freedom. So Dan in this episode talks about how the rebrand of EOS.io to Mandel really further establishes our independence from Block 1. He shares his vision for EOS via Eden 2.0, and specifically how to incentivize people to join these Eden communities, which also means joining the EOS community. He talks a bit about projects he's excited about, such as Violet Garden, Pomelo, EOS Bees, and EOS support. And he talks about EVM compatibility that's coming to EOS, which he thinks is good for some reasons, but also mentions that he still thinks that the Ethereum virtual machine, the EVM, is still a dead end in terms of technology and will eventually need to be replaced. We've also had a nice, more casual interview with Yves Larose, head of the EOS Nation Foundation. This interview focuses more on who Yves Larose is as a person, talks about his childhood, growing up in Ottawa, the education that he had. He talks about his 6-year stay in Japan, talks a bit about his honeymoon in China, talks about how those experiences really helped him bridge the Western and Asian communities. And what I thought was very interesting is his reasoning behind why Yves considers himself a modern day samurai. As many of you know, his Twitter handle is now Big Beard Samurai on Twitter. And so yeah, I definitely encourage you guys to watch the show to learn more about Yves and who he is as a person. Moving on to the article this morning that was just published few hours ago by Dan Larimer, talking about an upgrade to the EOS system contracts that would allow users and DACs to issue tokens, reserve symbols, and provide liquidity without having to deploy any more contracts. So it's a very interesting article. Of course, this is a new idea. The community this morning has been very active, chatting about these new ideas. So a little recap means we would have the EOS.io.symbol system contract that would manage all the new token creation. And what this would allow users to do is to create a token with a set inflation that cannot be later changed by that token creator, which kind of helps give more reliability, credibility to these new tokens. So there would be new token symbol auctions, kind of the same way as the name bids work, for those who are familiar with that. We'd have one per week for 3-letter symbols, one per 3 days for 4 letters, one a day for 5 letters, and no limits for 6 letters. There could be a minimum fee for creating such tokens. Dan Larimer suggested 100 EOS, but of course that can be whatever amount is decided by the block producers through consensus of the community can be determined. You know, it allows inflation to be fixed and non-modifiable, like I said, and it also adds new features such as callbacks, which would allow DAOs, for example, to reclaim tokens from people. Now, of course, it would be very clear that these tokens have that callback feature available. Another feature would be the ability to block transfers, etc. So adds a bit more features to creating new tokens on EOS without having to incur the costs and technical know-how of creating your own contract for your new token. And with this would also come a system contract-based automated market maker with improved liquidity incentives. So here's the article here. It's not too long, and you know, I recommend everyone read it, of course. And you know exactly here, like I said, it would allow to never violate the inflation policy for these new tokens. And you know, in summary, with the proposed changes, EOS would have a native community-managed decentralized exchange that supports user-issued tokens without having to deploy any contracts nor write a single line of code. This is the first step into turning EOS into a DAC of DACs or a DAO of DAOs, like has been mentioned a lot recently. Moving on to the GitHub repo, which is now controlled by the EOS Network Foundation and is now named Mandel. So like I mentioned in the intro, you know, this allows us to be more independent or clearly independent from Block One, really breaks from EOS.io code base into a code base that is managed by ourselves, by the community. And here you can see on GitHub here, github.com/EOS Network Foundation for the GitHub repo for Mandel, and you can, for those who understand this type of stuff, browse in and look at that. So here we have, on December 30th, the EOS Network Foundation published a Core Plus kind of introduction article, developing software to run on EOS.io. This used to be called DocuPlus. It's been changed now to Core Plus. The teams that are in charge of this working group are EOS Amsterdam, EOS Dublin, EOS Barcelona, and Crypto Alliance, which have combined into a business entity called Zysan. And you know, the areas of focus for Core Plus includes documentation and communication, which means explaining clearly what EOS has to offer for business leaders and why businesses should build on EOS. Core development, which includes creating a roadmap to address issues such as scalability, and tools, which means creating tooling for the development of the ecosystem, and especially improving the tooling available right now. So, you know, this is simplifying the developer experience with better tooling, documentation, SDKs, and libraries, which will undoubtedly make EOS and other iterations of EOS.io more attractive for onboarding new dApps and developers. And there's plenty more information for those who want to dig deep. As always, check the show notes below if you want links to all these articles that we're covering here. Even more recently, we have the Core Plus working group, which provided, the API Plus working group, which provided an article just yesterday, you know, that explains what they've been working on. So API Plus is led by Greymass, EOS Nation, and EOS Real. And their areas of focus includes data, Node EOS, adoption, again, better documentation to ease the flow of information, making it easier for developers to adopt APIs, improving existing APIs, and further works. So based on all the research that the API group has done, they're going to suggest a new working group be focused exclusively on researching the next generation of APIs and specifically what would be needed to build them. And also non-EOS.io integrations means adopting public standards and common interfaces that are used in the wider crypto community. Moving on to Recover Plus. So here we have a pizza.live, which recently posted yesterday, actually, a review of the Spider-Man hacking incident. So you can go here, they go over the timeline, they go over the proposed actions that were on the table. They do confirm that the block producers were very responsive and active and willing to help Pizza to recover these lost funds. And, in the end, so you see here the block producers that did approve a potential MSIG that was created to help recover the funds, which was not executed in the end. And after all, in the end, the hacker agreed with a $500,000 ransom and gave back all the 1.4 million accounts that he had created back to Pizza. From this, there's a new working group that was created, Recover Plus. So the Pizza team is going to be heading this group and to design a crisis management framework to help EOS projects coping with hacking incidents. So I'm sure we'll learn more about this as this working group solidifies and starts collaborating with other actors in the ecosystem, to build this framework for everyone to be able to use. Now, as I mentioned, we've got the GitHub repo. We got the new rebrand from EOS.io that may be Mandel. Now, Mandel is a placeholder name for now until we reach a community consensus. It may change in the future. But with this Mandel upgrade comes the EOS road to Mandel. So what is it going to take to get to the Mandel, and what does Mandel include? So there's 3 hard forks or new features that are going to be implemented: configurable WASM limits, contract pays, and enhanced configurable blockchain parameters. Now, if you're like me and you may not be very technical in nature, a lot of these concepts and words are maybe not too familiar to you, like they're not very familiar to me. And for this reason, we're actually going to be proposing a community bounty for people to help us visualize and simplify the road to Mandel. So stay tuned to our social media, subscribe to the @.gems Twitter account, and we'll be posting more details about this creative contest that we're hosting in order to incentivize members of the community to visualize and simplify these concepts. So maybe you want to write an article, maybe you want to create a video, an animation, maybe you want to host a podcast, create memes, a picture, an infographic. Any of that type of stuff will be welcome to submit. There's going to be EOS prizes for the best best submissions, and also each submission is going to receive a POP token, a proof of participation token that we've been giving out in Discord events lately. So stay tuned to our social media to learn more about this. We'll be sharing the details early next week. All right, now many of you probably joined our have received Party Cracker. So if you were holding spicy rares in your account on December 31st, we airdropped some Party Crackers. You had about a 1 in 5 chance for each spicy rare that you were holding to get a Party Cracker. These Party Crackers are basically NFT packs of 1, and within that NFT pack contains EOS NFTs from pretty much all the EOS collections that are out there. So right now there's 26 EOS collections contained within the Party Crackers, and we'll be adding more in the future as we've been reaching out to collections and having them donate to our prize pool. So for the next few weeks, live watchers of the Hot Sauce will have a chance to win some party crackers. So what we're gonna do is right now, go log into Twitter, find this tweet from EOS Nation on December 27th, where we say we are live, join us. Add a comment, add your EOS account to this tweet, and at the end of this show, we'll be airdropping party crackers to people who fill out their EOS account. So this is only good for people who tune in live. Once the show is over, I'm gonna give maybe a few minutes for people to get their EOS accounts up there as a comment to this tweet, and then we'll be airdropping the party cracker. So this is gonna be our new promo moving forward for the next few weeks. And it's really designed, you know, to reward people who tune in live to the EOS Hot Sauce. All right, moving on, we've got Gamebox. They released their, Defibox released their Gamebox platform, which is, you know, a GameFi platform that integrates game aggregation and ecological incubation. So you can browse this site here and to learn more about the Gamebox vision. You know, they say they have $1 million incubation plan for GameFi. This is, you know, Bitwar is one of their cooperative games that they're incubating, which is made from the developers of Start Wallet. And, you know, what does the Gamebox ecosystem comprise? Is financial support, technical support, launch support, and game manufacturers. And there is also the white paper for those who really want to dig deep. And there's a bunch of different aspects to the white paper. Again, all these links are in the comment below. Another white paper that was recently released is the EOS Bees 2.0. So with this new white paper for the EOS Bees, brings updated funding distribution algorithm to allocate funds to multiple language cultures. There's going to be a buzz token that's also going to be distributed, which is non-transferable, and it's going to allow bees to vote and allocate this funding. So right now they have 9 active hives, which are different, you know, groups of EOS bees with different languages. So there's English, Spanish, French, Turkish, Vietnamese, Chinese, Korean, Hindi, and Russian right now. And they're working on adding even more. So all that great engagement you've been seeing on Twitter, a lot of that is the bees swarming these tweets and posts and really creating good buzz around EOS on social media. Next up, we've got the 2021 1 year in EOS Rewind article created by Alfredo di Candia. And, you know, he breaks down by month, by day, everything that happened in EOS over the last year. So if ever you're wondering, you know, what happened or what time, what day an event happened, you can definitely refer to this article and find that out. And of course, follow Alfredo on Twitter at AlfredoDiCandy1. All right, so finally, our last topic of the day, I want to remind everyone about the EOS community fireside chats that we're hosting on Discord. So the new time and day is Wednesdays at 2000 UTC. You know, you get to hang out with the community. We talk EOS. If you show up, you earn a proof of participation token. So last Wednesday, I think we had an all-time high for participation in the fireside chat, which is great. We distributed 36 POP tokens. These fireside chats are not recorded. They are not streamed. It's really only for the people who show up. And we did this to allow people to feel more at ease when they're chatting. And also sometimes I reveal public information that isn't public yet, like I did last Wednesday. I don't want that to be streamed and recorded, and it's there for, you know, but people who show up, sometimes you get some inside scoops on various projects and news. And Yves is going to be joining us every week. We definitely encourage many people to show up. If you're working on an EOS project, show up. You can share some updates. If you're looking for jobs in the EOS community, there's definitely lots of jobs available, lots of dev work to be done. Show up to the fireside chat, say hi to the community, introduce yourself, And a lot of times there's a lot of builders in the Fireside chat, so you may be able to find some work as well. And then Yves is, like I said, sharing some oftentimes great information. This week he shared the amount of members that have been paid directly or indirectly by the NF foundations through the projects they support. I'm not going to spoil the number, but it was much higher than I anticipated. They'll be revealing that, in an upcoming article. But if you want to hear all of those good sneak peeks and information, make sure to join us next Wednesday in the EOS community Fireside chat on Discord. So that's on Discord. If you're not yet on our server, discord.gg/EOS-network to join. All right, and that about wraps it up for this week. I see I might have busted my 15-minute target by a few minutes, not too bad. So this new format, we got feedback from people that were saying the older live format where I was getting a lot of color commentary lasted maybe 45 minutes, an hour. We had some interviews. Sometimes it's a bit too long for people. They rather have it shorter and have the same amount of news shared. So that's what we tried this week. Did you like it? Did you not? Do you prefer the longer version? You prefer the short version? Let us know. We're always adapting our content based on feedback that you guys provide us. So definitely don't be shy. Let us know what you think. And on that note, I'm going to wish you guys a great weekend and go EOS.